Carl Azus. We're going to the library today on CNN 10. But Carl, you might be thinking, the library's closed. Yes, but some are still open to the idea of helping others, and we're going to show you how. As far as reopening businesses to the public goes, a handful of U.S. states are now drawing up plans to do that. Places that are seeing coronavirus cases and deaths level out or even decrease want to get people back to work and restart the engine of commerce. But as Texas Governor Greg Abbott puts it, it's not going to be an everyone is open all at once situation. Slow, steady, and planned are the ways governors want to go about this. We told you how Wuhan, China, the first city where the COVID-19 outbreak was reported, lifted its lockdown last week. In Italy, the lockdown is still in place, but a small number of businesses were allowed to reopen on a trial basis starting Tuesday. And these are businesses that are considered non-essential, like bookstores and children's clothing stores. Pharmacies and grocery stores are considered essential and have been allowed to stay open during the lockdown. In Spain, around the capital of Madrid, an estimated 300,000 non-essential workers, including some in construction, have gotten back to work. But it's a different story in France, which is extending its restrictions and keeping its borders closed for another month. And in India, where coronavirus cases continue to increase, the nationwide lockdown has been extended until May 3rd. Most of the American public is under stay-at-home orders. This means not being able to go to the library, though many of them are offering books, shows, and movies online. But even with their physical doors closed, they're still providing a valuable service.
VHA, manager of the LA Central Library's Octavia Lab for do-it-yourself projects, was ready to shut down due to the coronavirus pandemic. And then
we got an email right as we were closing from a doctor and saying, can you make PPE?
PPE, or personal protective equipment. VHA and her team said yes, partnered with a nonprofit called Glacier, which develops clean technologies to make functional face shields. They started with a shipment of 70.
We added foam for comfort, elastic for it to stay on, and what's nice about this version is that it folds all the way to the top and also covers from droplets entering through the eyes from the top.
PPE are popping out of libraries' 3D printers across the country. At the University of Utah, library staff tapped campus brainpower to make an estimated 1,200 face shields for hospitals.
The fact is, there's a bit of an emergency going on in a lot of situations, and it's really awesome to be able to participate in a solution.
As many libraries are sharing online how to make PPE to defend doctors and nurses, the librarians are showcasing skills that extend far beyond the reference desk in this pandemic.
One, that we are adaptable. Two, we believe truly in the public good. This is why we get into this work. And number three, it's like, we're here to help.
The question of when America's non-essential stores open is a nail-biter for businesses. From mom and pop shops to barber shops, clothing stores to corporate giants, retailers are increasingly desperate to get back to sales. And some retail analysts say companies like Sears and JCPenney, which survived the Great Depression and the Great Recession, may not survive the coronavirus crisis. J. Crew and Neiman Marcus are in the same boat. These are companies that were struggling with debt and decreasing sales before COVID-19 arrived in America. And while there's still a good chance they'll be around when coronavirus passes, it won't be easy for them.
In a sea of retail bankruptcy, JCPenney's future looks uncertain. The iconic American retailer, known for its low prices and deep discounts, is now billions of dollars in debt and hasn't been profitable since 2010. But long before sales started sinking and debt started rising, JCPenney helped transform the retail industry. In 1902, James Cash Penney opened a branch of a dry goods chain called the Golden Rule in Wyoming. At the time, Penney's business practices were revolutionary. To keep prices low, he banned haggling, which was a common practice at the time. That meant every customer paid the same ticketed price. Penney also encouraged employees to serve customers well. His motto was, serve the public to its ultimate satisfaction. And he was dedicated to being ethical, applying the store's name, the Golden Rule, to both customers and employees. A decade and many stores later, Penny incorporated the company and changed the name to the brand we know today. The company went public in 1929, right before the stock market crashed and the Great Depression began. Still, JCPenney found continued success as customers looking for low-cost goods filed in. And in 1951, the company hit $1 billion in sales for the first time. But in recent years, JCPenney has struggled. Sales flagged during the recession, and the retailer couldn't bring customers back. The department store was one of the first to adopt e-commerce in 1994, but overall it has struggled to keep up in the digital era. A parade of CEOs has tried to turn the company around. Ron Johnson came from Apple and tried to give the brand a fresh look in 2012, including ending the store's famous coupons. The costly revamp flopped, and consumers lost trust in the business. 3 other CEOs have followed, but they all have yet to restore the company to its once and former glory.
10-second trivia. Which of these rulers started building the Louvre in 1546 at the site of an old fortress? Louis XIV, Francis I, Louis XVI, or Napoleon Bonaparte? It was King Francis I who began work on the Louvre, though it was not completed during his lifetime. Even as an avid art collector, King Francis I probably never imagined the museum the Louvre would become, or that it would be shut down more than 4 centuries later because of a disease pandemic. But thanks to our partnership with CNN Travel, we can take you there today for a private tour with French actor and director Mathieu Kassovitz.
The Louvre is a one-of-a-kind museum. It's one-of-a-kind architecture in the world. It's the heart of Paris. It's beautiful everywhere you look, so you cannot really appreciate it if you try to do everything at once. You have to spend hours in front of one painting to really let your emotion go. You will see something that you can really relate to, and has nothing to do with your story, with your personal story, but it's deeper than that, and that's what art is all about. Being able to visit the Louvre by yourself, it's one-of-a-kind experience. To be able to enjoy any of these paintings by yourself at your own pace, at your own rhythm. There is nothing in between you and the art, and it becomes personal. There are so many amazing paintings all around you that you wonder, why this one? She really became famous after she was stolen from this museum. So her stardom is not just because of the quality of the paintings, but also the history behind it and the myth that surrounds it. It's different. It has a very strong power and feeling to it. To take a step back from your life and look at what other people did, it's a moment for reflection.
Calving isn't just for cows. It's also the term for when chunks of ice break off from a glacier, like this here glacier in Alaska. Susan Haddix was there on April 11th when the Portage Glacier was cracking. So she was able to set up her camera to capture this incredible slow motion footage of the calving, which thankfully didn't hurt anyone. She says some people were very close, so this is a reminder of the dangers out on the ice. Well, that puts today's show on ice. It was fun chilling with you. I know that when I drop these puns, I get some cold, or dare I say glacial stares, but it's fun to unleash a cavalcade of them, even if they get me a frosty reception. All right. Avon High School is no stranger to the cold. It's in Cleveland, Ohio, and we thank the Eagles for flying high with CNN 10. I'm Carl Azus.